Following is a production of Locked Up Sports.
Everybody, this is Don LaGreca from the Michael K. Show. When it comes to talking sports, Bob Walters and Brett Grasso are the authority.
Can't wait.
When it comes to talking sports, they're the authority. It's Bob Walters and Brett Grasso. It's Locked Up Sports, and it starts now.
Bring them out, bring them out, hey. Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, hey. Bring them out.
Here we go. Bob Walters, Brett Grasso from the Brian Gunzel Studios. This is Locked Up Sports. Ohio State loses to Michigan, and then Michigan gets pepper sprayed after the game. The Bears and the Raiders have terrible losses. Time management, they have no idea what they're doing. Jets and the Seahawks tomorrow. Giants lose to the Cowboys, and Sayville plays in the Long Island Championship. We got the final score for you. And the Mets spread, and the Mets also with Soto. They're the leaders. We'll get into all of that. Let's start with the Ohio State, Michigan. Today, the biggest game of the year, the biggest rivalry of the year. Michigan beats them out of nowhere. Number 2, Ohio State. They beat them 13-10. An ugly game. Ohio State threw a bunch of picks in the red zone, and Michigan ended up kicking a field goal at the end to win it 13-10. And then after the game is when it all started, because Michigan went and planted a flag in the 50-yard line of Ohio State. A fight started, and the pepper spray started flying.
Listen, you don't let somebody come in and plant a flag. I don't care. If you lose, you can't lose twice. That's losing twice if you let them plant that flag.
See, like, yeah, and you know what I don't like is that all week you hear, oh, these teams hate each other. They hate each other. It's the biggest rivalry. And then, like, they start fighting, and they're like, and like Gus Johnson's like, this is terrible. This is terrible. This can't happen. I love it that there was a fight like that after. Nobody got hurt. Except the pepper spray guy.
I mean, the cops are out there scared. If you start using pepper sprays, Bob, you've used a little bit of pepper spray.
A lot of pepper spray. Right? Yep.
A lot of pepper spray. You need to. Yeah, you don't have a way of defending yourself. You don't have a gun out there.
No.
I don't know if they let these officers carry guns in the middle of 10 million people on the field, but at the same time, they actually were like, listen, I got these guys in uniform going crazy. Let's pepper spray. Time to pepper spray, which means they were a little scared. They got.
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
What it's about.
And he just and I watched one of the videos. The guy sprayed it into the air.
well, listen, exactly that. Like, if you're you're the cop for Ohio State, you're the hometown cop. You aim at Michigan, right? Regardless of the situation, you aim at the Michigan guy. Like, he's the enemy.
Oh, like, that's what I'm saying. Absolutely, 1,000%.
It's they're not directing it at all towards Ohio State. They're actually like. Ohio State's like on their team. Like, he probably gave an extra can to one of like the linebackers.
Absolutely. And I love that they're fighting. And you know what? Yeah. And I don't like that. Get off the field there. Like Ohio State, you can't go fight. You just lost. You're number 2 in the country. You played terribly. You turned the ball over multiple times.
I think you ripped that. You don't let the flag go down. You fight. Why not?
You know why? You know why not? You know why not?
Because disrespected. The kids. You forget they're kids.
One, they probably just lost their bye in the playoffs, and 2, they might have just got some players suspended.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why you don't do it. Michigan's doesn't care. They got nothing to play for. It's over. They're 4-5 and they're 5-5 now.
Michigan's going to have a more satisfying season when they look back on it than Ohio State.
Oh, it's a successful season. As far as they're concerned, Michigan, that's all that cares.
That's how this works. You can do whatever. And in this rivalry, if you win this game, which Michigan now has won so many times, this is the time where Ohio State finally was supposed to beat them, and Ryan O'Day's supposed to win this game. He's going to get fired. He's going to get Eberflused this week.
He's not going to get fired.
He did. His team Eberflused himself. No, by the end of the year, it might be. They're talking about it. Like, you can't lose these games. And now he loses every one in a row. I don't know how many in a row it is. Like, but
they lost 2, right? They're 2. They're 10. They're like 9-2. So
no. Versus Michigan.
Oh, versus Michigan. You can't.
No,
lose
this is a big thing. No, they've lost. No, this is the thing. This isn't like he's won a few. He's won none.
That will get you fired. You're right. So Harbaugh lost a bunch
get you
to start.
Fired. Right. This is a bad season. You have to realize they are on a $20 million roster. They have a $20 million roster over at Ohio State. Michigan doesn't. Ohio State's supposed to win the national championship. Everything short of the national championship, and now they're out here, getting pepper sprayed midfield.
Michigan won the national championship, and they lost all their starters, so they're kind of rebuilding now. I guess it's a rebuilding, and they got the big quarterback coming in next year for $10 million. So I mean, it's you're
It
right.
was good. I like to see a little. I like to see this is a rivalry. If you don't get pepper sprayed at the end of a rivalry, is it really a rivalry?
Yeah. And then you got Notre Dame and USC, another rivalry game. 6 and 5 USC. Notre Dame ranked 5th in the country, and Notre Dame is up a touchdown.
Game that gets them every year. I've watched more Notre Dame seasons, good seasons, go down the tubes, especially back in the day where if you didn't go undefeated, you're not winning the national championship with no head-to-head matchup at the end. Like it used to be a very different scenario.
And they don't have a game next
Notre
week.
Dame, Florida State, they used to always lose this game. They go to USC and they'd play flat because Notre Dame doesn't play that many away games. Like you don't realize, like a lot of their games are neutral sites where they play whatever. So they only play like 3 or 4 away games. They haven't played an away game in like 8 weeks or 10 weeks. Like it's crazy.
And Notre Dame doesn't play next week. There's no conference championship. This is it. So this could be the last thing that the people see.
I thought they were going to blow it. Like they were just down, and their kicker can't make a field goal, so they have no chance. Like they're up by touchdowns, 28-21 Notre Dame, 4:40 left in the third quarter.
They just scored though.
They just scored, and USA's got the ball at midfield. So Notre Dame needs to, all they need to do is win. This isn't one of those, you got to win by 10 touchdowns. This week has proven anything. It's you got to just scrape by. This is a different college football than we're used to, where it used to be like, these 3 teams are definitely going to go kill everybody. Like the one good thing that's come with this transfer portal is it's flattened out these really good teams. And not the Notre Dames, like they're actually the ones who kind of benefit a little bit. But all these Georgia, Ohio States, the Michigans, all those teams, the Alabamas, they used to be where nobody could touch them. And now that talent has spread so much quickly, and the money has changed. And you look at Colorado, a program who's built so quickly, regardless of whether it's Dion or not. That's what the money is brought. So there are some positives, I think, that's come with this stuff. I don't like how they're doing it, but I feel like to have it be where it's not the same 4 teams winning the national title every year is a very good thing for college football.
And a lot of those powerhouses like Alabama and those schools, those SEC schools, they don't have the money. Because they're alumni, because they're not great schools. Like Alabama's not a good school, so their alumni they don't have like the ultra rich ton of alumni that like Notre Dame has, or that like USC has, even because USC is a good school. Or so
there's certain ones that you'd be surprised that actually have the money, but like people wouldn't want to come play for them.
Like Michigan,
you go to Texas, and there's like Texas oil guys, and you have like Jerry Jones gives you $100 million. Like that'll set you off for your whole for everything. It builds your whole athletic
Well, where did they go to their alumni? Like where did
they do? That's where all the money's coming from, because it's not coming from the school. You have to actually go raise that money. It's like a presidential campaign. You got to go out and get somebody else to give you that check, and then the school can use it, kind of thing.
Now, what if Harvard decided like we want to win the national championship this year? Could they go get everybody and win?
If Harvard decided,
right? The Harvard's got ex-presidents and like stuff like big time, big money. More.
I no, in terms of paying for it.
Yeah, like you pay, like go buy it. We're gonna give you whatever you want.
Like it'd be like Cohen. Like you need Cohen. Like you need and he's like the alumni, and you're like, listen, we just need one quick title. Do you
50
mind
million,
just for one year?
50 million.
Yeah. And pretty soon they're going to get rid of this, so we can't do it. Like in 5 years, they're going to figure out a way so that doesn't happen.
There's going to be some kind of salary cap or something on it.
Yeah, I think so. And then he's like, okay, they have to win the title at Cohen Field. And it's gonna be it's like that.
But Harvard, but not really, because a lot of the Harvard grads, I mean, some of them obviously are sports fans, but a lot of them would much rather a wing in the hospital on campus be named after them than
and it's
have
the
football.
Yeah. And it's not like doing this is going to bring more name recognition. Like, oh my God, all of a sudden people are going to know who Harvard is. Like Colorado, it did that in a way of bringing in something that Colorado normally doesn't have, which is all that extra. Like they weren't even selling out the stadium, like with students.
Yeah, no, but they did though. Remember they had Cordell Stewart
in the I know. We talk about that like it's 12 years ago, like 30 something years ago.
That was when we were playing. That was
an 8-month period in time where Colorado was relevant. Like
I guess you're right. You're right.
And so to us, it's a big deal because we saw how great that team was, but it was like 1 or 2 players making that team great, similar to what Colorado is doing now. But the Giants are steamrolling towards the first pick. But how was your Thanksgiving? Did you eat the turkey? Do you have turkey? To me, turkey. I did a whole thing. It's overrated, Brett. It's not that good. It's overrated in the way that it's such a great thing. Like you would have all the time. Like I like a good turkey sandwich. Like just give me a
Yeah,
turkey
but
sandwich.
it's a
nice and
cold
easy.
cut.
But no, right?
Would
it's
you
cold
rather
cut.
have
That's
a
cold
turkey
cut.
as cold cuts, right? That's not Thanksgiving. No one's eating turkey
see,
sandwich.
listen,
cold
if
cuts.
someone, I am not gonna turn down some turkey. You know what I mean? Like if someone's got I'm talking a nice bird with some gravy and some mashed potatoes and stuffing. Like I'll take that plate all day over a lot of other plates.
I don't
But
know.
but Thanksgiving isn't about the turkey. You're right.
No, I know.
And
I know.
See, and Bob, I don't even think you know about real Thanksgiving because Italian Thanksgiving is when you're sitting down and before anything's even started. Like I know, like yours starts with like.
Do you have
5 Guinness.
pasta?
In the Irish
Do you have
community,
pasta?
the 5 Guinness start is solid. I will give you that.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And after that, it's like you guys eat a little bit of turkey and then you just fight. But we like to start with either a baked ziti or a lasagna. Like that's
the
appetizer.
appetizers?
I'm not talking at the table. That's not the table. That's like we're hanging around
Like
watching
the 12 o'clock
early,
game, the Lions game.
12:30. Yeah, the Lions game, and you're having your ziti and a little antipasto and that type of thing. So by the time you get to it, you've already had such an awesome meal before the turkey, and then you're like, turkey's nice at that point. A little turkey and gravy is nice. You guys, you just have turkey out there, but you need everything. You need some ham. You need a nice Thanksgiving ham,
Yeah,
right?
I'm not big on ham. Ham's
Roast.
weird to me.
But
anyway,
you just want a steak. What do you eat?
steak. What did I didn't eat anything. I worked
Me neither. I did
16,
like
17
nothing.
hours. I came home. I ordered in something quick. Nobody was here because they all went out to by Sayville, and I stayed home because I would have never made it out there and then back and got some sleep. So I didn't do anything. I didn't celebrate. I did watch the football games, and I did watch the Lions and the Bears, which I thought was going to be a terrible game, and it started out terrible. Right, the Lions were blowing them out in the first half. The Bears got their
USC
first
pick.
down. I saw it. The Bears got their first down with 2 minutes left in the half. They got they had 50 yards, and then in the second half they come back and they play great.
But even at halftime, the coach goes, "Oh yeah, you're gonna see. We're gonna light it up in the second half." And I'm like laughing because he's like, "Oh, we're gonna," and he said something in the range of, "Oh no, we're gonna open it up." And and I looked, I was like, "You guys had like 10 yards of offense in the first half." And then all of a sudden, and this is Eberflus, and so all of a sudden in the second half, he's exactly what happened. Is all of a sudden they were, 3 touchdowns or whatever it was, but. The total collapse?
It's not even a collapse. It was just like a complete loss of what reality. Like, this is basic stuff. Like, what do you have to know? When you play baseball, you have to know the situation, right? Know who's on base, know how many outs, know the score. In football, you need to know the clock, the play clock, what down it is, the distance, and the score. And the quarterback and the coach, the quarterback completely forgot. And the coach's job there is to sit there and go, okay, my quarterback's lost it here. Call a timeout.
Yes.
Not take the timeout into the locker room at the end of the game in your back pocket, and it got him fired. And it was the worst. Is it the worst?
You needed to get everybody on the same page. At 30 whatever seconds, you call that timeout. You get everybody together, and you say, listen, this is what we're going to do. This is how it's going to work. These are the plays. Make sure everybody knows what's going on.
You can run another play. A quick
you
one.
can do it the other way if you're ready and everything's there. But the guys were all run downfield. You have to realize, so partially they're waiting for the guys to come back. Even when they got back and he already wasted enough time, there's still 20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, but he got sacked. He got sacked. So he needed to get more yards. He needed more yards. They weren't in field goal range.
He needed, but that's the thing is he needed to either, have you needed a quick out. You needed a 6-yard out or whatever it was, or honestly not even an out. The middle of the field's wide open with your timeout. If you call that play and you hike it at 20, 19, 18, or 17, fine. You have plenty of time over the middle of the field. It's wide open. They had it, but you weren't coached right. Now, even deeper into that, though, is you have Eberflus, who clearly just for whatever reason just blanked out and didn't know what to do. How many other coaches on that team? I don't care who you are. If you're a player, the backup punter, you have to be screaming, call timeout. Now, someone knew to call timeout and was like, you know what? We can get rid of Eberflus if I say nothing. If I say nothing, Eberflus might be gone.
But also, you could say that, but like that's you know what that goes back to, like the Seahawks in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Like that play got called in from somewhere. It got sent into the huddle. Everybody heard it, and nobody stood up and was like, "Whoa, wait a minute. We got beast mode. Why are we throwing it?" He just got 5 yards. He just got stopped at the 1 yard line. We got to get 1 yard, and we're going to throw it, and nobody stopped that play. Like the quarterback would have been like, he did. Now I would have called the timeout at the 38 seconds or the 32 seconds because you just got sacked, right? So now it's kind of a
yes.
okay. You got to get your bearings
because
together.
you know it's going to take 15 to 17 seconds to get everybody back and regrouped. There's 2 full plays that can be run. Because the best part is if that next play you throw an out and it's like, 6-7 yard out, you actually have another 22 seconds left. You still have 25 seconds left.
You can still throw it. You can still throw it in the middle of the field and spike it.
You could. Yes. You actually. We didn't lose one play. We lost a third play in that 30 seconds. Forget about they didn't get the second play off. They didn't get a third play off. They could have had. It just really was. As a coach, to walk away with that thing in your pocket, I don't care what happened. You spend time out just because you cannot have that in there. It's like maybe he thought they'd give you like 3 points for a timeout or something. Like he's very confused.
And don't forget,
we talked about it 2 weeks how bad he is.
Don't forget, this is the same team that just less than a month ago had their cornerback waving at the fans in Washington as the Hail Mary was being thrown and caught in the end zone for the loss.
Let's watch. He's going to be like the Jets offensive coordinator next year.
Yeah, now that was just as bad was the Raiders, right? Yesterday, the Raiders with Antonio Pierce, they're going in right.
Not as bad, but bad.
Not as right, not as bad, but bad. The
because
bad part was
O'Connell. That was first of all, that was a great drive at the end of that game, and I feel so bad for it. I feel bad for it.
Yeah, but listen, they didn't need to do it because the drive before it, right? They have 3 timeouts. It's 4th down. Now you could either kick the field goal. It was like a 58-yarder. You could punt and try and trap them back deep in their zone, try and stop them and get good field position. You got 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning, or you could go for it. He sends out the punt unit. He thinks about it, calls a timeout. Okay, so now you have to kick the field goal. So now you're like the Jets.
Yeah. That was it. That was the worst.
The kicker misses his 3rd field goal. They get the ball back inside their own like 5-yard line, take it into field goal range, and then there's some weird. There's basically the center snapped the ball and nobody else moved.
Right, and did you see as it happens, the guard, the way it works is it's so loud that what they do is when the line's ready, the guard taps the center. Yeah. So the guard taps him, and Aiden O'Connell's reading the defense. He's over here looking to the left, reading, is this man coverage on this side?
So it wasn't the center's fault?
No, it's the guard's fault. He taps him. He taps him, and the center just snaps it. Perfect snap. Aiden O'Connell's looking in the total different direction. And honestly, the guy had just totally just looked like he was managing that offense so well.
And it's really
wasn't like a fluke.
Yeah. It's really a false start on the center, but it's not because the play starts when the center snaps it, right? So it's really just nobody else moved, right? What was the penalty? It was the illegal shift.
And that's what got me is it should be not that it should be, but I was like, oh, that's a false start. They're going to get another shot.
It's not, though, because he snapped the ball. He's the one who starts the play. So the center decides when the play starts. It's not really a false start. The play started, nobody moved. They obviously had somebody shifting.
But you know what I missed is during that, and we can look back, there was whistles going on. Before that ball was landed
and they went like this.
They were blowing that play, right? Before that happened. And that means, how do you let that continue? You can't let it where the moment that whistle blows, every single football player since the first day of practice is told that's the play is over. The moment you hear that whistle, you stop reacting, and they didn't get the fumble at that point.
See, I thought it was going to be a 10-second runoff.
I thought there was whistle. See, I really thought there was false, like a play dead being
false start.
Blown.
But it's not a false start.
While the ball is still on the ground. There is this play is being when that happens,
and the referee came running in like this. He came running in like this, which
should not have been a turnover. I couldn't believe they didn't argue it. I don't think they would have won the argument, but I was shocked that he wasn't out there.
I thought it was going to be a 10-second runoff because they had no timeouts left, some kind of false start, because otherwise you could just false start to stop the clock. So that's why they do the 10-second runoff.
It would have been 2 seconds, I believe, but it would have been 2 seconds with the clock would have been stopped. Actually, sometimes it's 2 seconds with a running clock. Do you know what I mean?
They set the ball and then you got to just
That one wasn't. That one would have been 2 flat seconds, I believe, left.
But you know what? These are bad teams. This is what bad teams do. Right, bad teams do stuff like this. They lose games, and that's why they're bad teams.
You know what? Poorly coached teams.
Yeah,
poorly coached teams. Because you can be like, you look at the Jets, like you have a good team, you have a poorly coached team. Now they weren't. It really makes a difference. Like, you can have an average team that's coach very well, and Belichick has done that with, teams that probably played well above who they were. And a lot of coaches do that. You watch the best coaches and always end up with a certain number of wins, no matter what team that they're on. You look like Mike Tomlin's taking misfit toys and sends them every year somehow. People are laughing at him with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, and Mike Tomlin's like, just give me whoever. We're going to the playoffs. Doesn't make a difference.
And the Chiefs,
coaching wins is good for 2 extra wins a year.
Yeah, in football, yeah. But the Chiefs, I'm not impressed with the Chiefs. I think if there's such a thing as a soft 11-1, I think they are, right. They could have lost a couple games. They had the field goal that they blocked with Denver. They squeaked by this game. They could have very easily lost this game. The field goal kicker for the Raiders missed 3 field goals, and you're not going to get a break like they got yesterday against the Ravens in the playoffs, right? The Ravens aren't going to do that. So I can see them getting picked off.
No, but they are all doing that. That's the thing. There's no team who's just going out. But I mean, the Lions are the team for me, to be honest with you. Of all the teams that I think are just have everything it takes, like they can win from every angle. If you need to win it by throwing the ball deep, Lions can do it. If you need to win it by having some, running the ball down your throat, Lions can do it. If you need to win it in a defensive battle, Lions can do it. So they're adaptable. Like these other teams are like one-trick ponies where, you know what it is. And typically the Chiefs weren't like that. Typically the Chiefs were the, we can run it, we can pass it. We got, the slot guy. Or you looked even back at like San Francisco. In San Francisco, and them being out of it's a big deal because they were we can run it, we can throw it, we can do whatever you need, we can play defense. But those teams are out. So the only team I see that's head and shoulders above anybody else is the Lions because the Ravens.
But the Lions have the Vikings on their heels.
And I'll give you the Bills. Right, but I'll give you the Bills. Like the Bills are one that look like they're coming together really well too. But you're right, the Chiefs and the Ravens. And even the Steelers, they're like.
But look, the Ravens have 4 losses. The Ravens have 4 losses.
No. I think the Ravens are overrated. I think the Ravens have shown that, and the games they did win were not easy wins. They've blown a lot of games. They should with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. We're talking about both of which are 1 and 2 in the MVP race at this point. Outside of Saquon Barkley on the other end, doing the NFC, he's the only guy who's so much better than them in the league right now. But it's shocking to me that the Ravens aren't blowing people away. And then clearly that has to do a little bit with defense. The Chiefs shock me that they haven't lost more games. And I look back, and the Steelers are somehow a good football team with, Russell Wilson's coming back, and we're all just talking about everybody else. So there's a lot of football. It's going to be good. I just hate that the Jets aren't involved. This is such a great year to be involved.
Well, Jets can run the table. The Giants, unfortunately, have been eliminated from playoff contention. The Giants are the first team in the NFL officially eliminated from the playoffs.
And the Chiefs are the first ones in. Chiefs are in.
And Drew, they're 11-1. Drew Lock, I thought was better than I think he looked like a professional quarterback. Well, right? He turns the ball.
He actually gave you. He gave you, well, that's coming with Drew Lock, and that was not, it was a bad throw. It wasn't he just got unlucky with the
Well, he fumbled. He fumbled, though, too, in the third quarter. He fumbled.
But he kind of did what you were expecting with Daniel Jones, and he's using his legs to extend the plays, and he had 2 touchdowns that, honestly, I thought he looked really comfortable back there.
Yeah,
now,
but that
you're
game
only doing so much with what you got.
It wasn't really 27-20, right? Because that was a backdoor score.
The Giants were starting guys from, the CFL at the line. And it was not a good. They don't have a good
5 sacks. They gave
now.
five or six sacks. He got sacked 5 or 6 times.
He's a backup. You're going to get a backup performance.
Yeah, but so is Cooper Rush.
You want him to lose gracefully. That's what you want. You want some nice. You want some nice. We really tried. We don't make Dable look bad losses. You want to lose them all, but be respectable.
Now, I mean, they're gonna fire. They gotta fire the coach. I think the coach is done. He's got to be fired.
No, you're not.
No, because it's so bad. They're gonna get. They like
them. You're leaving your GM. You're leaving your coach. That's the one thing the Giants are going to make where they're behind on the Jets. The Giants actually have a better situation to get where they need to be right now, and you are right. They need they need to get rid of the GM. They need to get rid of the head coach.
Yeah.
They would start right away and be right from scratch, like a new regime comes in, a decent draft pick. You got Neighbors in here who he is trying to work his way out of New York. If you didn't notice, everybody else is talking oh, what is he saying and what is this? He doesn't want to be here. He wants nothing to do with being here. He hated being here. He didn't want to get drafted by the Giants, and he's trying to talk his way out of this team. You know that, right? He wants out.
He made a couple comments. And that's another thing. He's making comments. You got a rookie making comments about the coaching, and the coaches doesn't say anything about it. Like, how do you let the rookie say? How do you even go face the veterans on that team after the rookie is sitting there trashing you?
It's embarrassing.
He's got to go. Dable's no good. He had that one good year, which was clearly a fluke. And since the Eagles beat him in the playoffs, it's been a nosedive, and nothing's been good. Nothing. They're not prepared. Bad penalties. Quarterback plays terrible, and just everything. Giants haven't played a big game since that game, since the Eagles in the playoffs. Since we went to see Frank all those years ago at that steakhouse or whatever we went to.
Yeah.
It's
the curse of the steakhouse.
I won $700 or something, and
my bet. Don't even start. You want to know what that bet was? It was each team to kick a touchdown and a field goal in each half.
And I hit it for like 700
on to go to overtime. We won that bet. That bet was for whatever team to go to overtime. We nailed that one. I hit it by I think 800, and I don't know what you hit it for.
I hit it for like 700, and I put the whole thing on the Giants.
Yeah, we put the whole thing on a freaking family-sized steak. That's what we did.
No, but I lost it on the Giants, and I had to pay for the steak, too.
I know, yeah. And Brian, you go, should I put it all on the Giants? We're driving in, and me and Brian laughed, and we're like, yeah. But there's not a single person in that car that thought you were coming back with $1.
Oh, it's so fun. It was like my biggest win of the year, and then I lose it all. But it was fun. It was fun. So, I mean, it doesn't matter.
We only remember the wins, Bob. We only remember the wins.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the losses.
Now, with the Packers-Dolphins, I thought that the night game was going to be the best game of the day, and then it turned out to be it wasn't because they got blitzed right off the bat. They gave the long kick return, and then they muffed the punt, and before you know it, it was like 17-0, and you're out of it basically. So I think they came back a little bit, but that game was over. I think McDaniel's is on the hot seat.
Well, he's not. I don't think he is. I think if he has another bad season, he is.
But how many times are you going to be like, oh, the quarterback got hurt?
That's how it's going to be for every NFL coach forever. If every NFL coach has a quarterback that if he gets hurt, their season's not going to go well. There is not an NFL coach alive who that's not how their whole season goes. So that's really not his fault. What he can do outside of, he got him to come back. So other coaches would have told him to retire,
when they're winning, he's funny and he's goofy and he's stupid when they're losing, right? It's just stupid now. He's a little
I truly believe that the Dolphins were about to really run the table, and I don't know if they were going to win every game.
They won 3 in a row.
They were the team that was going to come up and make the playoffs 100%. And they still might. And go and become. And now they're gonna. But that was a tough one. They can't play in cold weather. There's something just about that. They just shook. Like they show up and they talk always about they're wearing scuba suits under their uniforms. They're out there with the scuba suits on, so they're nice and warm. Like, who's winning a football game in a scuba suit? First of all,
yeah. Well, like I said, his act is not funny. He's weird. He's a weird guy.
No. I don't like his weird stuff either. Like they seem to like it. He's a South Beach type of thing. They like the weird down there. That's what they do. And he's like all of a sudden this guru of a coach, and he's got some really good game plans, and he's got the guys to run like his type of scheme. I think that people have caught on to what his stuff is. And if someone's hurt on your team and you don't have Tyreek Hill playing at his top, or if you don't have Tua or Waddle, and all they guys have been injured, it's not going to be an easy run.
Yeah, no. Now they're out of it. They're still in the hunt, but they got to win. They got to win out, and they're going to need help. So and it's like tomorrow the big game is the Ravens Eagles, and I think the Eagles might beat them. I think a couple weeks ago I thought the Ravens were the best team in the NFL, and then now they've not played great. They lost to the Steelers.
No, that's it. Like I was saying before, they are underachieving. The Ravens are not. They should be blowing teams out, and they should be winning the easy games. That's how you know if you're a good team. Like you always win those easy ones. But I think the Eagles are coming around. They haven't lost in a while. Saquon Barkley is absolutely out of control and showing that he is worth every freaking penny. And what good running back can do.
But he wouldn't be worth every penny to the Giants.
No, he wouldn't. I don't think there's any good scenario to hold on to Saquon Barkley for either party. I don't think for Saquon Barkley it would have been beneficial to waste your career on a team that wasn't going to probably make the playoffs for the next year or two. And I don't think it would be good for the Giants to waste your money and not bring in other talent and sign Saquon. That doesn't mean you don't make a contract offer to him so you don't look like an idiot and you don't talk on live camera with Hard Knocks in there and talk about, how it, oh, I hope he doesn't go to what do you think's going to happen?
Yeah,
so don't devalue who it is.
But that's the owner. The owner can do what he wants.
Year. No, it is, and that's that's the stuff where it's you don't embarrass a player, and that's what Saquon felt like, and now he's playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, which he doesn't. He's done it very respectfully. He doesn't talk anything about the Giants. Doesn't say anything bad.
No, but he's not going to say anything bad.
He's just going out and putting up what could be breaking the record for the rushing yard in a season.
He needs to break the record.
That will win him the MVP.
Yeah, but that's the only way he wins the MVP because it's a quarterback award. It's a quarterback award.
No. It is, it's a quarterback award, but it shows you that is one of the greatest seasons ever if you are the one who can break that ceiling of it only goes to a quarterback. That's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, you need to break the record.
That means, yeah, man, and he might. Does he go for it if they're winning that much late in the year? Do you put him in and
no,
run him
probably not. Because remember,
100?
he was at the Giants and they offered him to go back in the game. And then he was like, no, he needed like 5 yards for his best career rushing game. And he's like, nah,
if he knew what he knew now about how close he is to the record,
I don't think he's that kind of player. I don't think he's that kind of player. I don't think he really cares. But I mean, on some level, he cares.
If you get an agent in your ear being like, listen, man, you go break this record and become MVP, we're talking different.
No, because he's not going to get another big contract. He's
it's not about contract. It's not about contract. If in this year he breaks the rushing record, he wins MVP, and they go win the Super Bowl, Saquon Barkley just became a very household name that he would never have been with the Giants. And I'm talking nationwide instant. Like that's money. I'm not talking about contracts and all the other stuff.
Yeah,
he's already doing the Campbell. He already does the stupid commercials, whatever ones he does now. I don't even know. But that's a bit. It is. That's where you make your money.
So now, speaking of MVPs and future MVPs, the Mets, the one good team, are supposedly the front runner for Soto. We're like weeks away from this decision. They're in the clubhouse with a $611 million offer. The Yankees supposedly only went $550. It looks like he's coming to the Mets.
The Yankees scare me, Bob. They do. You can say that all you want, front runner.
I think he's coming. I think he's coming to whoever gives the most money. I don't think he cares where he goes.
I think you're right. I think the Yankees are saying, okay, we know we can't match your money, but we can give you multiple opt-outs so you can go make more money than that. I think that's what the Yankees are doing. The Yankees
do you want to do that?
If
you're the Yankees, do you want to do that? You want to give him opt-outs?
No, you don't. But
because he'll opt out every time.
No,
he'll opt out every time.
No, not 100. Well, not yes, maybe. But if he has a couple bad years, he's not. If he does what he's done forever, and in 3 years, if we say 3 years, you get an opt out, the first one, and then you probably get another one triggered at like 6 years or 5 years. And he keeps doing what he's doing, and the numbers keep rising like they're rising. Then that would be a great. Like he would make even more money than signing a 14-year, $700 and whatever million deal with the Mets. Would be more beneficial with the opt-outs, but that's a risk too because you're taking less money. Now, if you don't play well, you just might have lost $100.
Yeah, but how about? I'm
just saying that I don't know.
And I'm okay with that.
He may be trying to get back to the Yankees. He may be saying, "Listen, if you get to this number, I'm coming back." They may not know that, but if they hit a certain threshold, even if it's less than the Mets, I'm talking like if they come up to the Mets are at 14, years and $700 million, but the Yankees are at 12 years and I don't know, man.
14 years. I don't want anybody for 14 years. It's going to be a terrible back end of it.
If you want Soto, you're getting.
Oh, I know you have to do it. Well, any of these guys. That's how it goes.
We're going to overpay. We're going to get them. We're going to overpay.
Which is okay. That's why we have it's on our money.
It's going to be a big overpay.
Yeah. Because when they're paying him $50 million and he's 36 or 37 and he's getting $50 million and he's not that great anymore. But now also. The Dodgers might swoop in and be like, "We'll give you $1 billion, but we'll just pay you 50 years from now," and they got to do something about that. When is enough, right? When do the Dodgers have enough players? Like, when is this going to end? They keep going in and just getting everybody. They might come in and get Soto.
I know deferred money's great, but give me my money now. Give me now. I want my money now. Give me. I agree. No, I just don't.
But how is the ML? But they got to put a stop to it, right? They haven't even. They don't even talk about it. It's just the Dodgers get everybody at this point. They're a super team. They're a super team. Like, when is enough? When is it going to be just bad for baseball that you have all the good players on your team and nobody can compete?
You know what it is? I think it's, the MLB is saying, well, we'll let it play out because have fun doing that in 5 years. You guys are going to have to really decide when, say the Yankees signed Soto, when Judge and Soto in 7 years are old and on monster deals and you still got to sign more guys. Like they might be like, look, long term, you're going to lose out. And I don't believe that's
and
true.
The union loves it because the unions they just get more money for their players just down the line. So nobody's putting a stop to it. But when is it competitive and balanced?
The union, almost 100%, the union will not allow Soto to take a deal worth less money. You know that, right? Like, it's almost unheard of. It's never really happened.
The
union will be mad if he goes and says,
A-Rod. Of course the union will be mad because he screws everybody else.
He does. If you start taking less than what we could have got, that just resets the market. For
if he gets a $600 million deal, that makes everybody making $20 million goes up to like $25 million.
Yeah, but if he turns down $700 million to go to to stay at $600 to go to a different team,
I think he's agreed.
The union doesn't like that.
I think he just wants the money. I think he's like, I don't care. He doesn't care. He's like probably not even a baseball fan. He was, he's like, I don't care. Just pay me the most money.
And they listen with the Mets and Yankees, and they really got to step up and make sure that they're on their game with these other guys. Because if you go get Soto and the Mets and Yankees don't get anybody else, and we know they are, but if they don't get land the other starting pitchers and the other parts that they need for this team or make the right moves, they're not going to go do what they did last year.
You got to give him a
Either
date,
team's
right?
going to if they don't get some other pitcher.
But you got to tell Soto, like, hey, listen, we need an answer here, right? There's got to be a date where you're like, we need an answer.
You don't have any. You can't do anything. You got no bargaining chip outside of
he's holding the whole thing hostage.
He can do whatever he wants. I don't think that's his plan. I think A-Rod would do something like that. Like, give me more days in the spotlight, and him and Boris would be out there, like, every day playing golf.
But what are you waiting for, right? That you got the offers. You got the offers.
No, it is. This is it. This is the last push. Like, everybody knows it's the final deal. Cohen's like, come back around when all the little boys, give you your deal, and I'll give you $50 million extra, and we're gonna have a nice
that's what he said. That's basically what he said.
And he better not be, because sometimes businessmen try and say, look, I'm gonna be a good businessman too. This is what we're offering, and they can lowball. They've done it. I hope that's not the case. I hope Cohen is showing up and saying $50 million more, because if he goes out and just says no more than $650 and this is the number, sorry, and someone else says we'll do that also, we'll match you, Toronto. Soto might be a Blue Jay.
I know. You never know.
And they're talking to Red Sox. There's a lot of people talking.
I heard the Red Sox aren't. I have read Red Sox, and then
the Red Sox. You know what gets the Red Sox is they have the worst facilities. You want to go play in that stadium, you're in like this
100 years old.
It is, and players don't like that stuff.
No. And then finally today we had the Long Island Championship. Brett, I had the coach. I was trying to get the coach on. My email went to his spam folder. He emailed me back today, day of the game, day of the Long Island Championship. Sayville loses their first loss to Garden City. They lose 31-28. They basically got killed in the first.
Big comeback. Second half comeback. They were down 21-0, I believe. They missed a field goal early, and then 3 consecutive touchdowns. It was a rough go for Sayville, and then all of a sudden, 3 late touchdowns. They just couldn't hold Garden City at the end.
Yeah, no, and they lost, and they ended up losing. Garden City's won 5 years in a row.
4 championships in a row.
They haven't lost a day. They haven't lost a game.
No, or something like that. Yeah, something crazy.
So I mean, listen, they had a good season.
Do you think if the coach didn't waste his time reading your emails, they might have won today?
No, he didn't read it till this morning. I got an email from the coach.
I feel like if you had 10 more minutes of game, of videotape, you would have been able to stop that third down where they scored the touchdown. It was 3rd and 8. That might be on you.
They won a wild game.
This one might be on you.
They won a wild game last week. They had a goal line stand. I think I don't know.
Let me guess. You didn't bother him. He didn't.
No, I didn't. No. Well, I emailed him. I told him today. I said, I was hoping they'd win because then we could talk to him. I figured he'd call in or something tonight to this show. But since I don't want to bother him now that they lost. But I did tell him to come on next week. He could come on and talk about the team. I said it'd be some exposure for his program and stuff. And Ryan Cox is the athletic director. I should have just went through him, right? I mean, You should have been involved in this. You know these guys better than I do.
I did, yeah. I grew up with Mike. It's me. I forget it. I grew up hanging out with Mike and Ryan and Jordan at their house over on Cliff.
Now I don't know the coach.
Awesome,
I don't know. We don't. Right? He's not. He's a Pat Med guy. I guess he's a Reed Sands is his name. He took over recently for Haas. Right? Haas was the was the last.
Yeah, no,
coach.
I really know very little. You know what I know about the program is that when every Friday or Saturday night or Saturday when they be playing, I'd be at home and
you could hear it?
every single thing. I could hear the whole thing. So I was hanging in the backyard and touchdown Sayville, and there's so many touchdowns it honestly gets a little annoying.
Does Jabino?
So good for them.
Yeah. I looked at some of the scores. They had a couple tight games, but I mean they won pretty big on most weeks.
Oh,
is
they
it?
got and they got another Cohen going to. He was Cohen is Pat Cohen, and they're.
It's another. He's coming up.
Yeah, he's the quarterback, and he was actually there. Rutgers. He had a recruiting trip over there, so he'll be playing some college football. And then you have Messina, who's like one of the all-time leading rushers for Long Island. Messina, they have some studs, man. But
Messina.
That program's been good for a long time.
Very maybe we'll put the coach up next week and we'll talk to him and we'll see how they're doing for next year. Cohen is they got the Cohen's the quarterback right here this year.
Yeah.
They win a lot of championships. When we were back there, they didn't win championships like this. We had the 1 year, 99, right? 99 and we lost.
It's a different game. Forever Long Island football was like we're running the wishbone.
Yeah.
And we're
they
doing
do
the
spread
triple option, big triple
wide.
option.
Right, that's what I want to talk to him about.
Once a game, we're gonna not throw the option and throw a deep one down the sideline, and we're gonna drop it.
Why do these guys? Why is it open up? But why couldn't you tell me we couldn't throw? They couldn't throw it back then. Like you tell me, John Hart couldn't throw it.
It was coaching. It was old school mentality.
Running
this is
the
how
ball
we do
up
it.
the
So
middle.
why change what it is? And it was exactly like that. And then you go, wait, no, the teams who adapted, and all of a sudden the other teams couldn't cover it. Like nobody could cover anybody.
No, they went five wides. They went 5 wide, like West, like 5 wides and throwing the ball down the field.
Awesome. That's what you need to do.
Like a run and shoot.
They're good athletes these days. It's a different game. They're all
you know what? They don't have
specially coached and trained from a young age.
They don't have. They groom them. They groom them. They don't have South Bay Lions anymore. Like we played, they have like SayvilleFootball Pee Wee, where they like pick out the guys that are good, the kids that are good, and they almost like it's a little ridiculous if you ask me. But it's still that's what they do, and then they can't beat Garden City. So. But Garden City's bigger though, right?
No, but I'm just glad that they put. I really thought when I saw the beginning of that game, I thought it was going to end up being like 40-something to nothing, and I was like, oh no, that's not going to be good. You don't want to get beat like that.
No,
people are even saying like
because then it doesn't look good. Yeah, they lost by a field goal, right? They lost by a field goal. Now and they get kicked field goals now too, right? I should have been.
No,
I mean,
and they missed the field goal first drive.
That's right.
The field goal cost them big. And they had it. They had a first and goal at the 5 to start.
Now let me ask you this: is the field goal kicker is he the kicker, or is he also like we had like I think Joe Rock was the kicker or something, right? Like he was the running back, the kicker, or John McGordy was the kicker or something.
Typically, it's the best athlete, and you've learned that in the past. Like you look at like some of these guys who were. Probably, if they weren't the quarterback, like Randall Cunningham could have been the starting punter on any team in the NFL.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And you look, my favorite play of all time is the third down from his own
like
end
85-yard punt.
Randall Cunningham punt, and it was a 90-something yard punt. It was one of the longest punts in the
probably
history
still
of the
the
NFL.
record, right? Yeah, because it got to bounce. It got to bounce and a roll.
You can't beat that. Like you just can't. Like when you're an athlete, there's a lot of athletes. To be honest,
so
with you.
good
But you
season.
are right. There's a lot of soccer players coming in and kicking, and it shocks me how bad these kickers are now on all these college and NFL teams.
No, but the NFL is good, but they're hitting like 65-yarders regularly.
Yes,
the Jets and Giants have no kickers.
No, you're right. But it just shocked me that these college programs can't get them. Now they're actually getting drafted, and some of these guys are really good, but they're missing some of these chip shots. It drives me crazy with the extra points.
The NFL's missed
Even
like
in the
NFL kickers miss like they hit like
crazy.
50. They're like 85% from 50 plus.
They'll miss 25-yarder, and they're making 65.
Yeah,
they're missing 25 and making 65. That's where it's like,
the Giants and Jets
that'll
are
drive you
missing
nuts
everything.
as a coach. That'll drive you nuts as a coach.
Yeah, well, the guy in the Raiders missed 3 field goals, and they could have beat that's going to get Antonio Pierce fired. He's not going to be back over next year, and he probably never should have got the job in the first place. But it is what it is.
But when you're going to suck either way, you might as well have someone cool at your head coach.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Listen, he's a Super Bowl champion for the Giants,
Jets,
right?
Don't worry, the Jets are going to do that next year with Rex. They're going to be like, you know what? Even though we suck, let's just bring someone we like.
So is this now? Now Sayville went 11-1, I believe. Is this a success? They won the Suffolk County Championship. Is this a success? It's the way Sayville is now, right? They win titles all the time.
Well, you won a title.
Successful?
So you won your Suffolk County Championship. That's your goal for the year, is to make it to the Long Island Championship.
But they
now,
lost the Super Bowl, right? They lost the Super Bowl.
You lost the Super Bowl. And now I believe they actually would be going to a state title game.
Yeah. Oh, they go on now.
I believe they do that now.
And now, why did they? Because they won Long Island Championships. Why did Garden City move down? Did Sayville move up a division? Because they haven't played Garden City now, right? One of them had to move up a division or down a division. I think Garden City might have moved down. It's size of school district, right?
It's not. I don't believe it's not. It's actually now based on like
soccer. It's like European soccer.
Is. I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
I talked to my buddies at the gym because they're big Bayport fans. Because Bayport actually was the same thing. They are a powerhouse program now.
Sayville beat Bayport 56-0.
No, but they've been undefeated now for, they won the title last year and were undefeated for the last 2 years now, Bayport.
But
and they actually lost by a touchdown in their game in the Long Island Championship on Friday night. So, no, both teams the exact same fate of undefeated seasons,
but like
leading into a LI championship loss. They both won their Suffolk championship, though.
But Sayville can't compete with like Sachem, right?
Sayville moved up. Sayville moved up, and Bayport Blue Point.
But what do you do? You can't compete against like Sachem. They have 10,000 people they're picking from.
No, but right now, honestly, if you put up Sayville versus Sachem, I believe that Sayville
would be a favorite.
Now, that's where these programs have changed, where they've become more like college programs of.
They're recruiting kids.
Right, and they're keeping them in district, and there's other ones like, let me tell you, you go to Garden City, I guarantee you, there's a lot of homegrown guys with the rich parents and all the other stuff. There's some people who were brought in who were living in some, inside the district apartments. All right, so they're playing it a little bit different than you realize.
Well, there's also the private schools, like the kid who's the kid from Sayville, who's the catcher for the Angels. He's an excellent player. Yeah, he's an excellent catcher. He's an all-star.
Yeah.
He never went to Sayville, but he's from Sayville.
No, he didn't.
He went played at St. Anthony's or something, right? The private schools.
Yeah.
So they can recruit them there. That's how they can
do
it.
And they have both, whether or not you pay for it, or they do full scholarship for if you can't. So it's the same thing. That's alumni money too. That's the exact same thing. That's more alumni money coming back. The same thing. High school has become college. College has become the NFL. The NFL has become worldwide, some kind of Europe thing. It's not even going to be in the U.S. We're really falling apart.
It's all falling apart. But the Mets might get Soto, so it's all good. If that happens, I'll be happy with
Jets will definitely
everything.
not win a Super Bowl. So
definitely
2 things, Mets going to get Soto, and the Jets are never winning a Super Bowl.
So that's it. I got work. I got to get some sleep, Brett. I'm like I can barely keep my eyes open. I got bags under my eyes. I look terrible. I look terrible because I've slept like 3 hours a night. I told you before, I woke up on the bus today. I took the bus back to Queens Plaza. I woke up with the bus driver on an empty bus, with the bus driver waking me up going, last stop. And that's the third time it's happened in the last 2 weeks. So that's where I'm at now. And we still put on the show, and it still is a fantastic show. So for Brett Grasso, I'm Bob Walters from the Brian Gunzel Studios. Football tomorrow, then back to work, and then the holidays, Brett. The Christmas is coming. We're gonna have to get some. You get me something for Christmas, right? One of those shirts, maybe.
Oh, you know what we're doing, and I'll tell you right now. No. One of those shirts. You get nothing. No, but you get You know what we're gonna do, and we're gonna do it on the show. And I think they're like $400. I'm gonna get us.
Okay, I'm in.
And you're gonna want to split it because if you don't split it, you're gonna end up like losing millions. We're gonna get a 2024 Topps Chrome update box. You know what they have, and that's it's the baseball cards.
Okay.
It comes with like a bunch of packs, guaranteed one signed autograph. But you know what's in there?
What's it? What's the
Paul
one?
Skeens 1 of 1.
Okay.
First day patch. And that card right there, the Pirates have offered 30 years of season tickets, front row. Listen to me.
No, but first of all, right? You've already learned that you don't take the deal from the league, from the team, right? You put it up on the auction.
But the deal is so good that people keep adding to it. Celebrities are adding to it. Celebrities are going, I'll add to it. And so right now, this deal, I don't know where it's at, but like certain celebrities are like, oh, and I'll throw in we're going on vacation together. And it's getting out of control where it's actually this like monster. Now, you're right. We would never take the deal, but the card itself, it's in there. One of them. And
if we pulled it on camera during the show, that would
and we are going to pull a guaranteed guy who signed the card, a numbered whatever card that will probably have some kind of value, and even some other Paul Skeens that can be worth a lot of money. I'm telling you that. So
all right, we can do that. But I also got like $2,000 in equipment over there. That you
yeah.
We could just take it off of that. We could just take it.
No, Bob. I'm telling you, you want your lawyers.
No, I mean, you're right. I don't want the lawyers fighting over it. $200.
No,
I'll give you $200.
I actually thought about it. I was like, I'll just buy it. We'll do whatever. I go.
No.
Card,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to
fight me in court. Yeah,
It's over.
Yeah.
So listen, we can work out whatever else.
Yeah.
But
no, I thought $200. I thought $200 with the amount of forget it. With the amount of overtime we work at this point, $200 I'm playing. No problem.
And I think we'll get some good people. We'll get people to watch that one live of us pulling.
Okay,
stuff
sounds good.
Definitely for sure.
So that's it. I'm going to try and get a couple hours. Brett Grasso, I'm Bob Walters from the Brian Gunzel Studios. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. See ya.